Days after those fast-moving but destructive storms ripped through Memphis and Shelby County, thousands of people still without power. Action News 5's Walter Murphy spoke with MLGW CEO Doug McGowan today about why this is still happening and how he says the work they're doing could help them from happening it again. Walter.
Well, Kelly, right now there's a little over 3,500 people that are still without power. But I checked it about an hour ago and there was nearly double that amount. And that's thanks to the crews that have been out working all day and around the clock since those storms hit last weekend. And CEO Doug McGowan says they're not going to stop until everyone has power restored.
We are not going to stop until we get you restored as well.
Memphis Light, Gas and Water President and CEO Doug McGowan says that crews have been working around the clock. But getting the power back on for the thousands of people who are still in the dark after last weekend's storms is tricky. That's because McGowan says the remaining outages are widespread across Memphis and Shelby County. And the crews like these who are out working are working on underground issues, which create a trifecta of a problem: to locate, diagnose, and then repair.
It's a little more coordination because our overhead crews have to work with the underground crews in order to make sure that we don't energize anything inadvertently. So it's really double the amount of resources.
But McGowan says they have made the most headway in overhead damages. Those are things like downed power lines and power poles. And in only 4 days, they've replaced over 50% of the poles they normally would replace for an entire year.
We've changed out about 400 poles in the last 4 days, and we typically do about 600 in a year. So we've essentially doubled up on our pole replacement this year because of the storm.
McGowan told me these new poles are also more resilient, meaning they should be sturdy when straight line winds like we saw last weekend roll through again. Another thing the utility is doing to curtail widespread outages in the future is getting current on cutting hanging tree limbs.
Frankly, we're behind on the tree trimming, and I have 3 contracts for about $220 million over the next 5 years. They're going to get us back on track for that 3-year cutting cycle.
But above everything else, McGowan says that he wants the people in Memphis who are still stranded to know.
We care deeply about our customers. We have all been there ourselves. We are coming to get your power back on. We have not forgotten about you.
Now, one more thing to not forget is that your power may still go out again. Now, if that happens, don't assume that MLGW knows. It's because they're out working on those issues, and you shouldn't assume they know. Make sure that you let them know like you would any other issue. Reporting live downtown tonight, I'm Walter Murphy, Action News 5.